right. Put my glasses over here. Bandit here, bandit here. Bandit 1. Bandit 1 is here. Got my quarantine mask on. Uh, go do a quick video before I get in the shower and get my day started. I want to talk about something. I want to talk about the normalization of dysfunction. It seems to me like everything that is no good for you today, that's where everybody gravitate to. They gravitate to that. Dysfunction has become normal. It really has. You have this ability to think that being immoral and not having character, you think that's a good thing. It's not. And black people, I want to talk to you for a minute. This is a conversation. I want to have a conversation with my people. I want to have a conversation. We as black people, for the most part, we have a problem with just going our way. Just going our way. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we have a problem with that. We are made to accept everything that is wrong in our so-called culture because nobody want to be called out on their dumbness or their foolishness. They don't want to be called out on it. So what they do is they shame you. Majority of these men out here, black men, they understand what their women are doing. They understand. But the thing is, they have to go along with it because women rule the black community. The black community is being ran by women. These are facts. I'm not talking bad about black women. I don't have to. I don't have to talk bad about black women. Listen, if I don't have to sit around and say the most of you are having kids out of wedlock in poverty. You will have one in poverty. Then you will have 2, 3, 4 in poverty and then complain that you can't get ahead in life because of some system. It's normalizing dysfunction. And what you think going to happen when these black men that are coming up and have came up throughout history? What do you think they're going to do if they only raised by their mom or grandmother or their aunties or they got older sisters? How do you think those men are going to be raised up? They're going to be raised to think whatever they do, it's just doing them. See, in the black community, we have these words. They're just words. I'm gonna do me. Man, I'm pushing this weight. I'm gonna do me. Man, I got this girl over here. I got this girl over there. I'm gonna do me. You know. Man, I'm gonna get drunk tonight, man. Shoot, man, I'm gonna get smoked out tonight. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me. But then when you waste time doing you, and you wake up and you have not achieved anything in life, now you want to say it's the system. You want to put it on the system now. You had the same chances to do whatever you want to do like everybody else. Let me tell you something. We have normalized dysfunction. Everything that is considered crass. We're for it in the black community. We're for it. We all for that. If it's anything that's positive, that's going to better the community, say in the black community, in these ghettos or these hoods or whatever you want to call them, if you had a militia to come out and they go buy rakes and lawnmowers and paint, and they have groups on the corners making sure the kids are safe getting home, and they're actually coming down on the gang member, the drugs, the drug areas. How many of the other blacks will call you a sellout? Just because you're trying to make your community better. Let me tell you something. The ghetto, that's not even a term for black people. It's not. Actually, that term ghetto comes from the Europeans over there when they had Jews in these ghettos. Even when the Jews came here, they had these ghettos. These are facts. You can look it up. It meant something different back in those days. There were quarters for a certain group, a certain culture. See, the Jewish people, they didn't normalize dysfunction. Just like that plane flying right now while I'm trying to record. That's dysfunctional. But anyway, the Jews in this country did not normalize dysfunction amongst their group. They didn't do that. They huddled together and they realized they're going to have to become part of the system. They're going to have to get into the system to be a part of it. What I mean by that, that's why they became doctors, dentists, went out to Hollywood, lawyers. They got in every field that they can get in, so they can take care of their own people. But every time you get somebody like Ben Carson, Clarence Thomas, Colin Powell, Allen West, Larry Elder, every time we get our own people to get in there to try to make some type of foundation for us, a blueprint for us to be respected, we call them coons. Where other cultures will tell their people, you will not disgrace this family, and you will not disgrace our culture. In the black community, it's the complete opposite. You got to thug out. Everything is dysfunction. But let me tell you something. It have not always been this way in the black community. We were actually together. And don't give me this crap about they put drugs in the ghetto. They put guns in the ghetto. Let me tell you something. If you cared about your culture and you cared about your people, like Black Lives Matter say, if anybody is putting guns in your neighborhood, you could have simply, if that's what the system did, giving black people free guns, what you could have done is kept the guns and destroyed the drugs. That's what you could have done. You would have had protection, your Second Amendment rights to bear arms. You wouldn't have had to buy the guns because you said they dropped them off in our neighborhoods. So you didn't have to buy the guns. Now you can protect yourself. So the thing is, nobody bears responsibility for oneself. Nope. Everything you do wrong in life, every misstep you make, it's the system fault. It's white supremacy. It's white privilege why I can't do that. It's this, that. My great grandfather was a professor, had his own school in South Georgia. You can go down there in Macon County right now, and it got a plaque for him. The first black academy. It was him. So when black people was living this student life and live with self-respect back then in the Jim Crow era, black people have more freedoms than ever now. There is no reason why we killing each other, shooting. We're shooting each other. We're killing our kids. We're impregnating women that have not earned the right to be a wife. Men, you should never impregnate a woman that you are not committed to and locked. I would never tell a man not to have fun and do his thing. Nope. Not when it comes to sex. When two people come together and they decide what they want to do for themselves, that's fine. But it's different when you bring an innocent person in the world and you don't have no means to taking care of that child or directing that child in the right way. That's where you get wrong at. But see, I don't chastise black men for this because for the most part, black men know this. It's the women, the black women. You can't tell them nothing. You tell them, hey, are you on birth control? You ask the average black woman, she ain't on no birth control. The average black girl is not on birth control. They don't care anything about that. And don't give me this crap about the system. Because the system will give a woman subsidies for having babies. The single black mom gets more benefits by having a kid or multiple kids than the white woman herself. A white girl or a white woman that don't have kids cannot get the benefits that a black woman can get. Now challenge me on that. Challenge me on it. If that white girl or that white woman don't have kids, she can't get anything from that system that you say that's against us as a people. She can't get anything. And if she can get something, it's going to be very minimal because she don't have children. So guess what? Guess what that same system you say is beating us down? It's the same system that our black women are using against us. Because you know something, black man? Every time she gets one of those benefits or handouts, she got to turn you in, sir. She got to put your name on the dotted line. And in some cases, she can put men name down on that line that she have never been sexually intimate with. That man ain't never been with her sexually. Look it up. There's a lot of men out there on child support and have warrants out for their arrest because the woman put his name down on the piece of paper and declare him the father. You have men in court right now begging for DNA tests, and the judge is not even allowing it because the system don't want to pay for it. The system is designed to go through your women, and once your women turn against you, and the government is backing them, hey, black man, you have no power in your home. You have no control. All you're going to have is with a woman being backed by the government is an unruly, combative, loud, and you can't tell her nothing. And time you try to guide her in a good way to let her know, hey, the police will come the same way Black Lives Matter talking about defunding the police. Those women in that group will be the same women calling the police on you when you don't do what they want you to do. They're gonna be taking restraining orders out on you. You come home too late, their police gonna be called on you. She gonna make a fight happen. If she think you're cheating on her, she gonna fight you. Why? Because there's a system backing her. That same system that these black people run around talking about is racist. Your black woman will use that same system to put your black ass away. And none of you black people, none of you black men, for the most part, because most of you are in the dark, y'all won't wake up to this. It's normalizing dysfunction. Anytime your woman is not completely on your team, meaning that she's with you 100%, she follows you, she has respect for you. Anytime you with a woman that have more respect for her profession, her job, her church, the government, her everyday living, if any of those are over you, the man that's in her life, you need to let her go. You gotta let her go. She don't belong to you. And don't be afraid, black man, to walk. Walk, black man. Is sex that important that you will let it ruin your whole life? Being dysfunctional because you want to get a lousy lay. You want to have this everyday mess. Most of these women don't even keep their house clean. Don't even know how to cook. And if they do know how to cook, they won't cook for you. I don't want to hear nothing about the system no more. We have normalized dysfunction. Our rap music didn't even used to be like this today. It's death. Even our R&B is death now. It's all about disrespecting women and disrespecting themselves. Why? Because most of the black boys have been raised by angry women. Black women. And I'm talking about our community. So let me tell you something, black woman. If you come across this video and you want to sit there and say white women do it too, or other races of people, we're not the only ones, I'm not dealing with them. You know why? Because I've raised 3 black children by 3 women. I used to be in that dysfunction. I can call my own self out and say that I don't want that for mine. I don't want that for my children. I'm trying to stop the normalcy of dysfunction. It should be called out. It baffles the mind how these black people can get in the street and protest. But they won't even clean up their own neighborhoods. At least if you clean up your own neighborhoods, get the trash off the street, cut the grass, paint. I don't care if you live in a hood or housing or whatever. Keep it clean. Stand upright. Men be men. The women are feminine. They understand what it is to be a woman. They want to walk with grace. Then other communities would say, hey, yeah, that's the ghetto, but look how clean it is. Look how nice their women are. Even the guys, look at the children. They're so sweet and nice and polite and well-mannered. They yes, sir, and no, sir. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. The women ain't walking around half-dressed. The men they have self-respect. And then people start looking at black people like, you know what? These people right here, they're just having a hard time right now. But their attitude is wonderful, and they will work themselves out of that. The rest of the world, the rest of the nation will look at these people, black people. If we moved and act this way, the rest of the nation would want to work with us. They would want it. They will see value in us. Why? Because we have value in ourselves. And as long as black boys are being emasculated, emotional, irrational, is an excuse for everything, no work ethic, then guess what you're going to get? Death and destruction. So you got to understand something about the black woman today's black woman. The reason she act out and the reason she's the way she is because she have a government. She is subsidized to normalize dysfunction. She get paid for bad behavior. So that's why it happens. You can't say it's the black man because what power have we been given? What power have black men been given? What do he own and control? We're not subsidized by the government. I was looking at a stat today. In America, there are 2.2 million people in prison and jails in this country. It's #1 in the world. #1 in the world, but they say this is a free society. It's so bad that Venezuela was talking about Louisiana, and they said they advised their citizens not to even go to Louisiana. And Venezuela is a third world country. Now, if the government is subsidizing black women to be dysfunctional, who is filling those prisons and why? It seems to me, if the government wanted to help the black family, they would subsidize the men. They wouldn't subsidize the woman. They'll subsidize the men. And then that way, women have to get in line. Black women will have to get in line. So yeah, I believe the government did this, but the women fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. They fell for it, thinking it was power. Now look what you have created. Look what you created. Black women got most of the government jobs. They got in the corporate positions in a cubicle. And they started looking down on black men. They don't want to lower their standards. He ain't educated. But I thought we all come from slavery. It shouldn't matter what that man is. If you made it, you're supposed to help your man. You're supposed to be beside your man. Every other race is beside their man, but you. And now in 2020, you have these black women walking around talking about he don't fit my standards. I'm up here and he's down there. I'm a college graduate. But when it's something that you don't like, you want to scream Black Lives Matter. Black lives didn't matter when you was getting your education and getting corporate jobs and government jobs and throwing your black man away and going on Oprah Winfrey and Sally Jesse Raphael and the Ricky Lake Show and Jerry Springer. And I can name all these damn talk shows where black women got on TV and talked about us like a dog. If you have a want, let me tell you something, black community, and I'm gonna let it go about this normalizing dysfunction. I don't care what race it is. Hear me good. I don't care what race it is. If your woman is dysfunctional, your whole race will be dysfunctional and you will lose. Everything that's negative is done through the woman. You can either get life through a woman or death. And that's why these damn women are in the street right now screaming, my body, my choice. That should let you know right there that women decide life or death. And they are normalizing dysfunction. What are you going to do, black man, about it? Now I'm about to go start my day. Because I don't have those problems no more. Because I got rid of that crap. Now you have to decide with this normalizing dysfunction. Black man, do you want life or do you want death? Band it out.